In a move that has sent ripples across the region, Manila has decided to freeze all Israeli arms deals, a bold and unexpected maneuver in the ongoing contest for influence over the South China Sea. This decision comes at a time when tensions in these contested waters are already running high, with Philippine naval vessels regularly shadowed by Chinese Coast Guard ships. The stakes have never been higher for the Philippines as it seeks to assert its sovereignty and protect its maritime interests. But this isn't just a simple contract dispute, it's a high-stakes gambit in global diplomacy with far-reaching consequences. Behind closed doors, diplomats and government officials are locked in tense negotiations, aware that every decision could tip the balance of power in the region. The Philippines, facing off against China's growing maritime ambitions, has halted major military contracts with Israel. Manila is now demanding not just weapons, but also public support and solidarity from its defense partners. This is a clear message. In today's world, military hardware alone is not enough. Alliances must be visible and vocal. This bold move transforms what might have been a routine arms deal into a complex geopolitical chess match, where every piece and every move is scrutinized by the world's major powers. For years, Manila has relied on cutting-edge Israeli defense technology to modernize its military, enhance its surveillance capabilities, and counter China's assertive tactics in the South China Sea. Israeli-made patrol boats, drones, and radar systems have become essential tools in the Philippines' arsenal. Now, the Philippines is raising the stakes even further. It's no longer enough for suppliers to simply sell weapons. Manila wants them to take a stand, to show political allegiance and support for its cause on the international stage. This sends shockwaves through the global arms industry, signaling that defense budgets now come with political strings attached. Analysts warn that this could mark a turning point, where arms deals are no longer just about profit, but about values and alliances. By freezing these deals, Manila is testing its influence and forcing Israel to make a difficult choice: prioritize lucrative contracts or maintain a stance of neutrality in a region fraught with tension. The world is watching to see how Israel will respond to this diplomatic pressure. The outcome of this standoff could set a powerful precedent for how arms deals and strategic alliances are negotiated in an increasingly multipolar world. Smaller nations may find new ways to leverage their purchasing power for political gain. What began as a straightforward business transaction has now evolved into a test of loyalty, trust, and strategic alignment. The future of regional security may hinge on the choices made in the coming weeks. The Philippines is betting that the potential economic cost to Israel, lost contracts, diminished influence, and reputational risk will be too high to ignore. Israeli defense firms now face uncertainty as their business interests become entangled with global politics. As both nations navigate this diplomatic standoff, the world's eyes are fixed on Manila and Jerusalem. International organizations, journalists, and analysts are closely monitoring every development, aware that the implications could extend far beyond Southeast Asia. The result of this high-stakes gambit could reshape how smaller nations leverage their power on the global stage, inspiring others to demand more from their defense partners. In the end, the Philippines' bold move may redefine the rules of engagement in the 21st century's great power competition. Manila's message is clear and resolute. The stakes have never been higher for its national interests. The Philippine government is no longer content with vague assurances or behind-the-scenes negotiations. Instead, it is making a bold, public demand for allegiance from its international partners, signaling a new era in its foreign policy approach. Now, future Israeli arms sales to the Philippines are being directly tied to visible, vocal support for Manila's claims in the South China Sea. This is a significant shift. Military cooperation is no longer just about hardware, but about political alignment and public backing on the world stage. The Philippines is demanding more than quiet diplomacy or private reassurances. It wants open, unequivocal recognition of its maritime rights, both at home and in international forums. This assertiveness reflects a growing impatience with the status quo and a desire to rally both domestic and global support. Billions of dollars in military modernization are at stake. Drones, missile systems, and advanced weaponry have become powerful bargaining chips, not just for national defense, but as leverage in international negotiations. The Philippines is making it clear, access to its lucrative defense market now comes with political strings attached. This strategic move highlights Manila's deep frustration with China's ongoing assertiveness in the region and its urgent need for international validation. The government is determined to break the diplomatic deadlock and shift the balance of power in its favor. A public endorsement from Israel would not only strengthen the Philippines' position in the South China Sea dispute, but also send a powerful message to Beijing and the international community, challenging China's narrative and rallying further support. By explicitly linking arms deals to political support, the Philippines is redefining the nature of its alliances. It is setting a precedent that could influence how other countries approach defense partnerships in the region. The conversation is no longer just about acquiring equipment or technology. It's about forging relationships based on shared diplomatic objectives, mutual recognition, and a willingness to stand together on critical issues. This bold and calculated stance forces international suppliers to carefully weigh the economic rewards of lucrative arms deals against the potential political risks of alienating other powerful players, especially China. Manila is pushing for deeper, more meaningful partnerships, where defense and diplomacy are inseparable, and where every agreement is a statement of shared values and strategic intent. The Philippines is making it clear, in today's world, allegiance must be earned, not assumed. Israel is caught in a diplomatic bind. Its long-standing policy of neutrality is being tested by Manila's demands. Siding with the Philippines risks angering China, a key economic partner. Israel is trying to separate business from politics, citing logistical delays rather than political motives for the arms freeze. But the Philippines isn't buying it, demanding clear support. Israel values its defense ties with Manila, but won't jeopardize broader interest for one contract. Taking sides could set a precedent, inviting similar pressures elsewhere. Israel hopes quiet diplomacy can resolve the impasse, but patience in Manila is running thin. The balancing act is straining a multi-billion-dollar relationship. The outcome will test Israel's ability to maintain neutrality under pressure. The Philippine freeze has rattled Israel's defense industry. These aren't minor deals. Hundreds of millions, even billions are at stake. The Philippines is a top customer for Israeli military tech, from drones to patrol boats. The sudden halt threatens revenue, jobs, and future business for Israeli giants like Elbit and IAI. The defense sector is pressuring the government for a swift resolution. This crisis exposes the vulnerability of export-dependent industries to global politics. Losing Manila would be a strategic and financial blow. Israel must weigh the economic pain against the risks of abandoning neutrality. The urgency for a diplomatic solution has never been higher. The Philippines is wielding its defense budget as a diplomatic weapon. By freezing arms deals, Manila is demanding reciprocity, security for support. This power of the purse strategy challenges the old dynamic of passive buyers and dominant suppliers. Every arms negotiation now doubles as a diplomatic dialogue. The question, does Israel value these contracts more than its neutrality? If Manila succeeds, it gains leverage against China and sets a precedent for others. If it fails, it risks losing a key supplier. Other nations are watching, considering similar tactics. The Philippines is pioneering transactional diplomacy, where weapons and political support are inseparable. The outcome will reveal just how much influence a determined buyer can wield. The ongoing standoff in the region is forcing the Philippines to rethink its traditional defense relationships and actively seek out new partners. With rising tensions and uncertainty, Manila is no longer content to rely solely on its established suppliers. Instead, it is casting a wider net, exploring fresh alliances that could better serve its evolving security needs. At a recent Japanese Defense Expo, Philippine delegates were seen closely inspecting advanced Japanese military equipment. Their interest was not just casual, it was a clear signal that Manila is seriously considering diversifying its sources of military hardware, and Japan is emerging as a top contender. These high-level discussions and negotiations highlight a genuine search for alternatives. This is not a mere diplomatic gesture or a bluff to pressure existing partners. It's a strategic move to ensure the Philippines is not left vulnerable. Japan, which shares many of the same maritime security concerns as the Philippines, could become a much more politically aligned and reliable partner. Their shared interests in maintaining freedom of navigation and regional stability make this partnership especially promising. For Israel, this development serves as a stark warning. No defense supplier, no matter how established, is irreplaceable. The shifting landscape means that even long-standing relationships can be challenged. The Philippines is actively building a robust Plan B, carefully reviewing and comparing a range of foreign weapon systems. This move directly threatens Israel's previous dominance in the Philippine defense market, signaling a willingness to walk away if better options arise. A deeper partnership with Japan could fundamentally reshape the security dynamics of the region. Joint training exercises, technology transfers, and increased cooperation would not only strengthen the Philippine military, but also send a strong message to potential adversaries. This strategic pivot could help create a more unified and powerful bloc in Southeast Asia, capable of standing up to Chinese expansionism and safeguarding regional interests through joint patrols and coordinated defense strategies. Manila's willingness to sign new agreements and announce partnerships with non-Israeli suppliers demonstrates that its demand for political support and reliable alliances is both urgent and genuine. The global arms market is fiercely competitive, and in this environment, alliances can shift rapidly. Countries that fail to adapt risk being left behind as new partnerships are forged. If Israel does not respond to these changing dynamics, it risks losing not only lucrative contracts, but also its strategic foothold in Southeast Asia. A loss that could have long-term consequences for its influence in the region. As tensions rise, conflicting stories cloud the real cause of the freeze. Some say Manila is leveraging arms deals for political support. Others blame Israeli logistical delays due to its own military needs. Official silence from both governments fuels speculation. The ambiguity may be strategic, allowing room for private negotiation. Both sides could be using the situation to press their own agendas. The truth likely lies in a mix of politics and logistics. Manila may be exploiting delays to push for support, while Israel cites operational needs to avoid a political stance. Without clear statements, observers are left piecing together the puzzle. The lack of clarity only heightens the diplomatic drama. Both Manila and Jerusalem are publicly silent on the arms freeze. Officials dodge questions, offering vague or no comments. This silence signals the sensitivity of the issue and a preference for private negotiation. Behind closed doors, diplomats are working to resolve the impasse. Both nations want to preserve their defense partnership without sacrificing core principles. Private talks allow for creative solutions and honest dialogue. The outcome hinges on whether a compromise can satisfy Manila's demands without forcing Israel to abandon neutrality. The fate of billions in arms deals and a key alliance rests on these confidential negotiations. This standoff is more than a contract dispute. It's a case study in modern diplomacy. Economic leverage is now a key tool in foreign policy, especially in defense. The Philippines' bold move could inspire others in Southeast Asia to link arms deals to political support. For arms exporters, this is a warning. Contracts can be held hostage to distant conflicts. Suppliers must now weigh political conditions in their business strategies. The arms business is shifting from simple transactions to complex negotiations. The outcome will shape how middle powers assert themselves and how exporters adapt. If the Philippines succeeds, it sets a new model for leveraging economic power. Whatever happens, this episode has already changed the rules of the game.